Hi, I'm about to demonstrate how to remoss a kokedama. Now, we used to run kokedama workshops. We haven't in quite a while. And this is quite an old kokedama that I made maybe at least half a year old. This is what it used to look like. The plant is an Alternanthera, and you can see the plant is doing okay. It's been in my balcony garden for a while, but the ball has turned a bit brown, and this is a result from being constantly soaked in a bowl of water to keep the medium wet. You can see roots have grown outside of the ball into the water below. I'm going to try something which is to rewrap another layer of moss over this kokedama ball. So it's kind of like servicing. Now the thing with kokedamas that I've come to realize is actually the moss surrounding the soil acts as like a pot replacement. And if you look at ways that people garden these days, it's very, I would say, comparable to fabric pots. Now if you read up about fabric pots, people use fabric pots for their plants, and it's said to have certain advantages. They claim that roots grow better in a fabric pot because a fabric pot is porous, and unlike a regular pot, your roots in a regular pot tend to grow all the way up to the side of the pot, so they become what you call root bound. For fabric pots, there's a kind of natural, I think the word is air pruning. Air pruning is what happens when plant roots grow to the side of a fabric pot, and they sort of avoid the sides because it feels drier. So the roots are said to spread out more. You get better root structure, and they don't circle the pots, so there's less chance of getting root bound, and the plant is said to grow better in a fabric pot. The other advantage of fabric pots are aeration. Because your pot is porous, it allows air to flow through the sides, and that actually makes for better soil around where the roots are. And the other good thing about fabric pots is you can soak the whole pot in water to feed your plant because the pot is porous. So I'm starting to think of kokedamas very much like fabric pots, but instead of cloth fabric, you're actually using a natural plant fabric, which is sheet moss, kind of like a carpeting moss. Alright, so the Japanese had this figured out long ago, the benefits of fabric pots, and they are kokedamas. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and repot this guy, rather remoss. And there you have it, remossed kokedama, good as new and ready to go. Now a few closing thoughts on kokedamas. If you use moss to wrap your ball, your moss may not typically remain green unless its surroundings have the right humidity, or your garden is really wet. So you may have to do what I just did, which is after a while to just re-wrap a new layer of moss around the bulb. Otherwise, you could consider putting it inside a closed jar, because that is close to ideal conditions for moss in terms of humidity. So you could try turning your whole kokedama into a terrarium and just placing it inside like a bell jar, or a jar that's big enough for your entire plant plus your moss ball. That gives your moss a better chance of staying green.